Hi, it's Adele Michael, and it's time for some changes. I'm changing up some things in my business, and I want you to be the first to know. So, I've been talking about abundance for a long time, and I love talking about abundance. And I've really appreciated the feedback I've gotten from you about Abundance with Adele, the workshop that I've done, and Money Mindset Mondays. So, as I thought about it, and I thought about how can I really help the people that I want to help have more abundance. Yes, it's about mindset. Yes, it's about your vibration. Yes, it's about um, what you're willing to receive. All of that. It is all of that. And it is also the actions you take in your business or in your career. So, what I settled on was visibility. It is so easy for us to want to hide and to keep our light under a bushel basket. But that's not what we were made for. And that's not what's going to build a business and build abundance in a business. So, as I thought about how I can help the people I want to help the most, is by helping them face visibility. So, that's what I'm coming to you with now. Mindset for visibility. It's a lot about mindset, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. And in future weeks, I'll talk a lot more about that. But today, my question is, are you ready to face visibility? Are you ready? Yeah, if you have your own small business or if you work for a company or corporation, you have to show up. You have to show up. You have to go to work. And you have to do the work, but you also want to be visible to the people around you so that they know the value that you provide and that they know that you're the one that they can count on for your specific skill sets. And too often, women hide from that. Why? Because there are lots and lots of reasons. And I've created a fear triangle about why we hide. I think the top 3 reasons, and there are many reasons, but the top 3 reasons are we're afraid we're going to be judged, we're afraid we're going to be pushy, and we're afraid that we're going to be rejected. This is what we think visibility has to mean. But what if it didn't have to mean that at all? What if there were a way for you to discover how you can be visible authentically, graciously, and on your own terms? What if that were possible? And what if that meant that you got more ideal clients, that you got to take your business to the next level, that you got to really live the dream that you have for your business and for your work? It's important. This is a very important topic. Ever since I started doing business coaching, I've heard so many people say, I love what I do, I just hate marketing and sales. Well, marketing and sales are a very big part of having a successful business. And when I say successful, I mean profitable, one that contributes to others, and one that lights you up. I don't know about you, but the months that I don't have very much coming in are very, very difficult. And really, there is no reason for us to hide. There's no reason. I mean, there are lots of reasons. We've been told as women to, be quiet, be demure, don't be too loud, don't be too much, don't be too intuitive, don't have too many opinions. We've all heard all of that and more. And so culturally, we are not encouraged to be visible. And yet, that's what's called for to be successful in your business and in your career. So, I've come up with a framework that I think will really help you create your way to visibility on your own terms. It involves mindset. It involves confidence. And it involves habits. So I think this framework will help you, help all of us show up in our businesses and be the face of our business and allow all eyes to be on us in our business in a very authentic and satisfying way. So I want to tell you a little story. I used to work in television. I worked behind the camera. I worked for CBS News. I worked for Walter Cronkite's Universe in New York City back in the 80s. And I made computers and phones sing and dance for AT&T. I had big jobs. I mean, I worked for big companies, well-known companies. And about 10 years later, I started my own business, and one of my friends said, well, you should be on video. And I was just shocked. It was like, there is no way in hell I'm going to do that. I am not doing that. No, I am not doing that. So fast forward to a couple of years ago, and videos are all the rage. People get to know you better when you're on video, and it was a way for me to be more visible in my business. And so I decided to do that, and I did two things that really helped me. I did two things. One is I decided that I would not be critical of the way I looked or the way I talked. That was not easy, but it was the only way that I would get on camera. The second thing that I did was I did a 30-day video challenge with Neve Arthur. And that was really great because we had to do videos every day, little videos, not long ones, but we would get feedback from people. And I would, in our little group, and I would say to people, oh, I'm so ashamed of blah, blah, blah. And they go, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that until you said that. I'm like, oh, I'm definitely more critical of myself than anybody else is. And now I love doing this. I love doing this. Oh, the other thing I did, I got speaker training. I got used to getting up and talking to people in front of a room. And now that's not so possible. So video is the best alternative. I really love it. And it's really, really something that helps me tell people about what I do and how I can help them. So I just tell you that because it's really possible to make a 180, to go from refusing to be on video to like, let me get on video. It's time. I want to be on video. So what I recommend is that for you, if this is something that you're ready at least to think about, I'm not asking you to get out there and be on video if you don't like that. I'm not asking you to be pushy or sleazy or any of that. I'm just asking you to think, what would I be willing to do to be a little bit more visible? That's what I'd like you to think about. And maybe start clearing away some of that junk that we've all picked up about what visibility is. I don't think I'm ever going to be a celebrity. I don't want to be famous. I just want to be able to reach the people that I can help. So, what does that look like in your world? What is one little step that perhaps you could take? So that's what we're going to be talking about in the coming weeks. And if this is something that you would like to have an individual conversation with me about, you go to my website, adelemichael.com, and on the upper right-hand corner, it says free consultation. You click on that, you choose a time that you can talk to me on Zoom, or you can call in and I'll be on Zoom. And there's a short questionnaire just so I can get to know a little bit about what you're looking for, so that when we do speak for a complimentary 30-minute consultation, I'm right on it and I know a little bit about how to help you. So thanks for tuning in, and thanks for all your support. and your interests in the past. And I look forward to moving forward into more visibility with you and into more abundance. Thanks. I'll see you next time.